This is a part of my time in the Navy that I really hated. At times I really felt like jumping overboard, because on this ship going up through the Great Barrier Reef, I was a deckhand and all I did was chip paint off of the ship and on your knees, and every day it was about 7 days getting up to Morobe Bay in New Guinea. That's where we went, to Morobe Bay. But anyway, we finally got there, and I got on this big ship. It was a submarine tender that serviced submarines and small craft, YMCAs, sub-chasers, and I was on that ship for over a year, about a year and a half, because we left the bay rather, to go to Sydney, Australia for R&R, for leave, you know, rest and relaxation. We were only down in Sydney for about a week, and we had a couple shore leaves. But getting back to Morobe Bay, we went back up there, and then finally the war had ended, and I saw people, deckhands or servicemen, sailors getting shipped off back home, and I was still stuck on the ship because I wasn't married. I didn't have enough points to get back. And so finally I got back in the United States April the 6th, 1946, which at that time I had missed 3 Christmases being overseas. And it was very hard, you know. And it was something that it preyed on your mind. It was no fun deal. I actually wasn't in any danger, only several times in Morobe Bay that we had this air raid alarm. I could hear bomb shells exploding and that off in a distance. But fortunately they never got to us, just like submarines threats, you know. But we didn't encounter anything. I can say that I didn't see any action, but I saw sure plenty of action with the mind, that you had to deal with the situation you were in, which wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pleasant for anybody being over there. So eventually I got on the ship and we came back to the United States. The trip over the Pacific Ocean took a while, but the most harrowing experience I had was we were about 200 miles off of Portland, Oregon, on the Pacific coast, Columbia River, the Columbia River. The sea was so rough that I thought this huge ship of ours was going to sink. We were in swells that went way down. If you know what a swell is in the sea, you couldn't even see. All you could see is water ahead of you. I thought sure we would sink. It was the most harrowing experience that I had while in the Navy, and I can still see that scene in my mind, how terrible it was. But anyway, we went up the Columbia River, and then finally, it took a while, but I was there for, and getting back to it, I didn't mention before, I made the rank of 2nd class petty officer. I started out for the Seaman 3rd class, 1st class, then I made 3rd class, petty officer, and then 2nd class petty officer. But anyway, that's about then finally I was separated from the Navy April the 6th, 1946. It was a long time, 3 Christmases overseas. I was so glad to get out of the Navy, and it's just an experience. It takes a longer time to take than what I'm saying here now. But I do think that, and I want the young people, the older people, to really appreciate this country and love your country. It's the best country in the world. And that was my reason for joining the Navy. I love my country and I wanted to serve my country. So I hope the younger people and the older people, younger people and older people, will realize what a great country this is and appreciate their life here. And with that, I'll say that I did this interview for Isa Contrina. She's my granddaughter. And with that, I will conclude my statement.